just to create a picture what I am going to talk about. A house with 3 grown-up sisters just have one set of clothes. A village where majority of people are daily wage laborers and struggle to even have 2 meals a day. A place where minor girls as young as 5-6-year-old are sent to work by their own parents to earn money rather than going to school. It sounds like I am talking about some plot of, Munshi Premchandji's novel, isn't it? I am not. I am not talking about a plot of novel written decades ago. It's a description of a village I visited just 5 years back. At that time, I was working in the corporate sector, heading one organization in Delhi. This visit was to fund one of the tribal program of an NGO, which we were supporting, but this visit turned out to be a watershed moment of my life. I couldn't align myself with the fact that minor girls being pushed into the net of trafficking by their own parents to earn money for their family. Nobody was bothered to know that what is going to happen to them, or what are they supposed to do when they leave the village for some unknown place. It was the first time I came face to face with the minor girl victims of modern day slavery, which is popularly known as human trafficking. It was horrifying for me to witness this ugliest form of human rights violation, and that also on the ground of my own country. I couldn't continue with my corporate job or the luxurious lifestyle I had. I resigned and I started to travel in tribal areas of India. The objective was to understand the extent of trafficking amongst tribal girls and what could be done to prevent it. I realized that in the absence of development, the menace of human trafficking has penetrated itself deeply and has become successful in integrating itself with the very fabric of our society. Trafficking for sex still draws some sharp response, but hiring of underage girls as child labor or for domestic help easily disguises itself as an socially accepted norm, despite being illegal. I also got an understanding of the supply and demand network of trafficking, which is prevalent and pervasive not just in tribal areas, but also in the metro cities. In fact, the demand for these girls don't come from tribal areas. It's the city dwellers who create these demand. Unknowingly and unintentionally, we all are contributing to this menace of human trafficking by hiring underage girls through agents or by buying products and services which employs child labor or bonded labor. As per rough estimates, tribal girls constitute 70% of the girls trafficked in India. The Red Corridor region, comprising of Naxal affected states, having large population of tribals, are the hotbed of trafficking. Reasons are easy to be guessed. The socio-economic indicators are the lowest in this region. The situation is so bad that some of the primitive tribes are on the verge of extinction. Yes, you heard me right. And I am not talking about any animal species. I am talking about human beings. Unfortunately, we run campaigns for animals, but not for our fellow citizens. Many of us are not even aware of it. Sometimes they live for generations in poverty, debt, and consequently as bonded labor in such harsh conditions. The most vulnerable and the weakest in the family, the girl child, becomes an easy victim. These innocent girls are offered to the traffickers, or sometimes the traffickers lure the parents to take them away. The agents get these girls on the promise of giving a better life with better money in big cities. Many of these girls disappear without any trace and are never heard back. For these girls, going back to their villages without making money for the agent is never an option. To make them comply, they are threatened, starved, tortured, and physically abused. Rape by several men, several times, is a very common practice to make them surrender and suppress their voice. With no one listening and no support in their fight for survival, these girls become an easy victim of society's collective failure. Failure of our moral values and failure of our humanity. Majority of these girls don't live to dream. They dream to live a life. Talking about dream, Dr. Abdul Kalam said, dream is not something which you see while sleeping. It is something which doesn't let you sleep. I started my sleepless nights dreaming about a sunrise in the life of these girls. A sunrise which is a result of their own collective efforts and not by charity of others. This dream of mine led to the inception of Aahan Foundation. Aahan literally means new dawn. Aahan was a new beginning, a symbol of new dawn, not only for the girls, but also for me, because my life was changing. I chose to start my work with Jharkhand. I knew all odds were against me. I was a non-tribal. I didn't know the language. I had never been to Jharkhand before. And worst of everything, had no experience of working at the grassroots level. I had spent my life working with CEOs of multinational companies, but never at the grassroots level. Therefore, I thought of trying some unconventional ways to break the ice. And I offered them something which I felt is irresistible for everybody, especially when you are hungry. Samosas and gulab jamun. I offered these snacks during our chatting sessions with these girls and their mothers. And as is expected, I got lots of people coming to those chatting sessions because of samosas and gulab jamun. Initially, they found it difficult to open up, but gradually, once the trust factor developed, they started talking to me. It was a huge challenge to convince these girls that they can live their life on their own term with freedom and self-respect. Even the girls who were at the risk of trafficking and were not trafficked were living in a cage of their own belief system that they cannot raise their voice and they have to earn money for their family if needed. So we started a mentoring program which was more like a dialogue with women's leaders from cities and with these tribal girls. These interactions started bringing some behavioral shift in the thinking of these girls, and it really helped us. Later, we started imparting training for developing their vocational skills, sales and marketing skills, life skills, and also some coaching for sports and arts. Today, I am very proud to share that members of the Aahan family and my brave hearts are working as sales and marketing professionals in corporates, as nurses, teachers, auto drivers, panchayat leaders, masons and builders, contributing in their own way by building toilets in Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. And we also have a professional football team known as Aahan Bravehearts. The journey of creating leaders amongst tribal girls has been exciting, full of learnings and of course lots of challenges. Traveling to these far-flung areas, especially in Naxal areas, was very difficult and fraught with challenges like opposition and threats by traffickers, by local political leaders and the girls' relatives. However, my biggest challenge till date is that neither the people who demand for these underage girls nor the people who cater to this illegitimate demand treat human trafficking as a crime or violation of human rights. It is very difficult to make people from urban areas understand that when they are hiring an underage girl, even if they are not abusing her in any which way, they are killing her right to dream and grow. The journey has been very special so far. It made me learn a lot of things about life and humanity. My biggest experiential learning was that you don't need too much of money and too many people to bring the change. I was warned about imminent failure of Aahan Foundation because we didn't have resources. I had no experience of working in social sector, and above all, I had no business model to show it to anybody. However, we not only started off, we also sustained all our activities without any major funding. Modern slavery is afflicting people all across the world. India, it's a shame that India is one of the top 5 countries in the world in the Global Slavery Index. But I am hopeful. Despite this grim scenario, I am hopeful and I am very positive because India is a young nation. We have young youth, tech-savvy youth, teeming with ideas and very aware of their responsibilities. They are ready to take up the challenges and get united to bring the challenge. If they passionately take up the cause of fighting human slavery, I am sure that we will succeed in bringing the much needed paradigm shift in the society and making India the first country in the world to be free of any kind of human slavery. Thank you.